Hello everyone, I'm David Law, Superintendent of Minnetonka Public Schools.
And I'm Dr. Mike Remical, a director on the Minnetonka School Board.
We are glad you're able to join us for our School Board Recognitions program. It's so important to take the time to acknowledge and celebrate the outstanding accomplishments of our students, staff, and community members.
We begin most of our regular board meetings with recognitions to highlight the positive impact that so many different people make in our district.
Tonight, we're recognizing girls basketball state champions, boys basketball state champions, debate state qualifiers, economics challenge state qualifiers, middle school state honor band qualifiers, national German exam award winners, a Minnesota Aspirations in Computing award winner, middle and high school state science and engineering fair state qualifiers, district service center honored artists from our middle schools, and a district-wide certificate of excellence in financial reporting.
The girls varsity basketball team had an incredible year, qualifying for the state tournament and winning a challenging final game to become state champions.
Throughout the entire season, the team demonstrated its skillful playing style and talent on the court, winning games and coming back from setbacks with grace and determination.
Many players on the team have been named All-Conference and All-Conference Honorable Mention players for the year, and senior Tori McKinney was named as a finalist for Miss Basketball Minnesota.
Off the court, the team had earned the academic gold distinction for its collective 3.843 GPA, which is one of the highest among Class 4A teams.
The team is led by head coach Brian Cosgriff and assistant coaches Macy Huddlestad, John Roche, Allie Rogers, and Ellen Thompson.
This year, Brian Cosgriff and Macy Huddlestad were named the Class 4A Minnesota Girls Basketball Coaches Association Head Coach and Assistant Coach of the Year.
Before we recognize each player by name, let's learn more about the year. We will hear both from Coach Cosgriff and from student manager Mira Rahman.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Cosgriff and I'm the head girls basketball coach at Minnetonka High School. I'd just like to speak briefly on our team this year. We had an outstanding year where we finished 29-2 in the Class 4A state championship. One of the things that was great about our team this year is we had 8 academic all-state players, all seniors. We had 2 all-state players and 1 all-state honorable mention. We had 5 all-conference players. I was very proud of this team because we had 10 seniors that have gone through the program all the way since 4th grade. They're outstanding young ladies. We have a nice team coming back. I've had outstanding coaches. We've had outstanding help from the administrators. All in all, it's just been an amazing year, and I feel so fortunate to be part of this wonderful school district and this great program. So thank you very much for all the support we had this year, and hopefully we can duplicate it next year.
Student manager Mir Rahman's family shared this message in celebration of the team's season. Mir is a selectively mute student with special needs who is the manager for the girls basketball team. The inclusive environment that coaches and team have fostered have helped Mir make huge strides. This video is the first time anyone has heard Mir's voice outside of his family. The team members not only win games, they change lives.
Thank you for your support of the team, Mir, and for sharing your voice in celebration of the season.
Congratulations to the following members of the girls varsity basketball team: Piper Anderson, Avery Bowen, Clara Carlson, Josephine Chose, Micah Chose, Leah Crump, Sydney Cummings, Delaney Eggert, Grace Hamdorf, Hallie Hutner,
Kira Keegan, Elizabeth McCullum, Anna McKinney, Victoria McKinney, Celia Nesseth, Sydney Reed, Chloe Sims, Aaliyah Trojan, Megan Weeks, Harley Walk, Linnell Wright, and team manager Mir Rahman.
Great work, skippers.
The week after the girls varsity basketball team won the state championship title, the boys varsity team qualified for the state tournament.
The team played hard and worked together to advance through the bracket, ultimately winning the state title.
2024 now marks the 11th time in Minnesota State High School League history where one school's boys and girls basketball programs have won state titles in the same year.
The boys team is led by head coach Bryce Tesdahl and assistant coaches Dion Richardson, Mike Reamer, Kyle Kaupa, Charlie Dorn, and Sam Forster.
Let's hear more about the team season.
Hi, my name is Bryce Tesdall, head boys basketball coach at Minnetonka High School. During the 2023-2024 basketball season, we were able to win the Class 4A state championship about a month ago at Williams Arena against VIII, a team that we hadn't beat in 19 previous meetings. We were led by a great group of seniors and had a great group of underclassmen. We had great families, we had great coaches, we built great memories together, and obviously we were able to cap the season off with a special memory at Williams Arena, bringing home the first state championship since 2008 in the boys basketball program and our fourth overall as a boys basketball program in Minnetonka history. We can't thank the community enough, our youth program, and just our high school skippers that supported us all season, especially in our state tournament run downtown. We look forward to building upon our success again next season, and again, thank you for all the support this season.
My name is Grayson Allman. I'm on the boys basketball team. I'm very proud of my group for all coming together and having one goal in mind, which was to win the state championship, and that's what we did. We're very grateful for the Minnetonka basketball community that had our back throughout all of this and was very supportive towards all of us.
Congratulations to the following team members: Noah Barenwald, Malachi Bodie Aboyagi, Jordan Kane, Hudson Kraft, Isa El Amin, Caleb Francois, Trayson Hennessy, Jacob Liz, Anthony Ortiz,
Duke Richardson, Andrew Stefanovich, William Steingass, Zachary Steingass, Grayson Allman, Hemanth Vengala, Alexander Voss, Caden Wells, and Wiley Wright.
The team managers were Gianna Eisenbarth and Catherine McGowan. Congratulations again to our basketball program on a phenomenal year.
6 Minnetonka High School debate students qualified for the state tournament earlier this year.
Through debate, students learn the power of using rational, reasoned arguments and compelling evidence to make a point.
They polish skills in researching, organizing information, writing, and of course, public speaking.
This year's state qualifiers include Carla Fernanda Ariola Lucio, Robert Balsrud, Henry Miller, Nikita Natraj, Thomas Robin, and Annie Tan.
The debate team advisors are Nolan Trin and Carissa Hayden.
A team of 4 Minnetonka High School students qualified for the State Economics Challenge this year.
The Economics Challenge is a quiz bowl style competition on economics knowledge. At state, the team was only 3 questions away from qualifying for the final round.
The student team members are Becker Curry, Ethan Sandberg, Eric Soltau, and Arthav Sukhani.
The team's advisors are Joel Coleman, Scott Mayerly, and Steve Ristow.
Great work, all. This year, 4 students from our Minnetonka middle schools have qualified to be part of the Minnesota Band Directors Association All-State Honor Band.
As part of this recognition, students have the opportunity to join other musicians from across the state and to play together during a special weekend gathering.
This year's qualifiers were advised by Minnetonka music teachers Heidi Bundy, Karen Goetz, and Paul Rosen.
Let's hear more about the honor.
Hello, we are Heidi Bundy and Paul Rosen, band directors at Minnetonka Middle School West. Today we are here to honor and recognize Maithri Arun Kumar, Bennett Lang, and Andrew Ogilvie. These students have been selected for membership in the Minnesota Band Directors Association Honor Band for the 2023 and 2024 school year. This rigorous and demanding audition process involved hundreds auditioning for 65 spots in the ensemble.
Maithri is an 8th grade student who plays the flute. In addition to the MMW concert band, she also participates in the MMW woodwind ensemble. Bennett is an 8th grader and plays the trombone. He participates in the MMW concert band and jazz band and the MHS marching band. Andrew is in the 7th grade and plays the tenor sax. He participates in the MMW concert band, jazz ensemble, and woodwind ensemble. He is also a member of the Minnesota Junior Winds, a local honor band.
The students participating rehearsed and performed together the weekend of April 13th and 14th. The 6th through 8th grade band was conducted by Mickey Smith Jr., a distinguished and nationally recognized educator from Florida. Congratulations to Maithri, Bennett, and Andrew on this outstanding achievement.
Congratulations to the following state qualifying musicians: Maithri Arun Kumar, Bennett Lang, Andrew Ogilvy, and Alex Wren.
This year, 4 Minnetonka High School students earned high marks on the National German exam.
The exam is administered each year to more than 20,000 high school students and serves as a benchmark of German language knowledge.
Our students were advised by Angela Fairbrother, who is a German language instructor at the Minnetonka High School.
Let's hear more about the honor.
Hi, my name is Angela Fairbrother, and I am the German language instructor at Minnetonka High School. Each year, German students take the AATG National German Exam to show how their German skills compare to others in the country. This year, 4 high school students scored exceptionally well on the exam, with Alex Weimer and Oliver Nelson earning gold awards, Gavin Durant earning a silver award, and Alex Paint earning a bronze award. These marks place our students in the top of all national test takers. Additionally, this year we had a student selected to represent all of Minnesota for AATG, the American Association of Teachers of German, on an all-expense-paid trip to Germany. Oliver Nelson is one of only 37 out of 13,500 students in the country chosen for this honor. Congratulations, Oliver, and congratulations to our students for your great work. We are incredibly proud of your hard work and dedication to learning the German language.
Hello, my name is Gavin Durant, and let me just say how grateful I am to have had the opportunity for this exam and such an award. In-school German is definitely that class that comes very naturally to me, and it is something I have understood significantly better than most other subjects. And when the opportunity to take this exam came, I leapt at the chance. Truly, I am very thankful for this exam and being recognized for it. Thank you.
Congratulations to the following students for their National German Exam honors: Gavin Durant, Oliver Nelson, Alex Payant, and Alexander Weimer.
Great work.
The National Center for Women in Information Technology offers an annual awards program to recognize students for their technology interests, skills, and accomplishments.
This year, 1 Minnetonka High School student was honored at the state level with the Minnesota Aspirations in Computing Award. Valerie Nelson earned a State Honorable Mention Rising Star Award.
Valerie was nominated by Minnetonka High School science teacher Kevin Burns. The award recognizes Valerie's academic excellence, leadership, and future goals with regard to computing and technology. Every spring, the Minnesota Academy of Sciences hosts the State Science and Engineering Fair. Students from across Minnesota compete at regional science fairs for the opportunity to share their project at the state level.
This year, we had 44 high school students and 7 middle school students qualify for the state fair.
Several students have also qualified for the International Science and Engineering Fair, which will be held in Los Angeles later this month. Congratulations to Quinn Hughes, Georgia Constantine, Tyler Clare, and Anthony Pooh for achieving this outstanding accomplishment.
Our researchers at MHS were supported by teachers Kevin Burns, Kim Haney, Caitlin McWhirter, Patricia Price, and lab manager Chris Van Driel.
Our middle school researchers were supported by Carrie Lavold at MMW and Elizabeth Kahn at MME. Let's hear more about our researchers' accomplishments.
Researchers, thank you so much for joining us today as we recognize your qualification for the 2024 State Science and Engineering Fair. This is a prestigious achievement that recognizes not only the curiosity, effort, dedication, and care you've demonstrated this year to pursue answers for your scientific inquiries, but also your ability to communicate clearly about complex topics with a wide range of audiences. We are excited to share some statistics about the success you achieved this year.
Combined, you earned numerous awards at the Twin Cities Regional and State Science Fairs. We also had 5 students qualify as finalists and 2 as alternates for the 2024 International Science and Engineering Fair, the highest number in school history. Congratulations again to each of our science fair participants. We are so proud of and inspired by you.
We also want to give a special shout out to our middle school science fair state qualifiers this year. 7 of you qualified from MME and MMW with projects that you chose to work on beyond your regular schoolwork.
We are so proud of you for the incredible amount of effort you've put forth to explore really interesting questions, from studying lung capacity to earthquakes. You all are really working hard to make our world a better place through your research.
The MMW qualifiers were Adlai Javanathan, Lily Dow, and Cora Fink.
The MME state qualifiers were Lila Foster, Eddie Ginter, Jared Griffiths, and Olivia Zhao.
I'm Melindarji and I'm in 10th grade. My project uses AI to design new proteins that can have uses such as personalized drugs. Besides advancing to the State Science Fair, I was also honored to win a 3M award and advance to the International Science and Engineering Fair as an alternate. I want to thank Mrs. Haney, Ms. Vandriel, and the other Minnetonka research teachers and staff for their support. Minnetonka Research provides an incredible opportunity for you to explore your curiosity in a deep way and grow as a person in a fun and supportive community.
Hi, my name is Georgia Constantine, and I have recently entered in as a finalist in the International Science and Engineering Fair. Everything started with a research project that was part of my curriculum at school. The research of fighting cancer cells while preserving healthy cells is not only very important to me personally, but for everyone. In other words, finding an alternative treatment to cancer. That's why the endless hours spent in the lab never made me tired, and I'm very proud of my work.
What your science fair project is.
So my science fair project is for summary, it's about different shapes of structures made out of toothpicks and marshmallows.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Tested on a shape table, simulated an earthquake, and I found which shapes of structures are best to use in construction in order to withstand collapse during an earthquake.
Cool. And how did you get interested in that?
Well, I was pretty interested in architecture and engineering in general, and I was also mildly interested in earthquakes. And one reason that I was really pulled to it was I found that a lot of areas that are most affected by earthquakes are areas where there are contractors who cut corners, don't have material code, and don't move the right building materials. So I was so this experiment was a way to find different shapes that can offset that.
Awesome.
So that
Yeah.
survive.
Awesome. And what's been the best part about science fair this year?
It might just be the judging. It's been really fun. The judges have been really nice, and it's just so much fun because you spend so much time and energy creating your science fair project, and then you're just gonna tell the whole world about it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, and I think you've had fun today. Definitely sounds like it.
Hi, I'm Olivia Zoe, a 6th grader. My science fair project was all about growing marshmallows, and I wanted to see which conditions would produce the biggest ones. The most rewarding part of the project was overcoming challenges I faced along the way. My friends, parents, and especially Miss Khan, my teacher, were incredibly supportive throughout the whole entire process, stretching from the school round to regionals and even state. I'm most proud of learning how to design and conduct a simple but well-done experiment that incorporated scientific principles.
My name is Cora Fink, and I'm in 6th grade at Minnetonka Middle School West. I'm honored to be recognized for my advancement to and participation in the Minnesota State Science Fair. What was most exciting about the Science Fair, and what I'm most proud of, was presenting and explaining my project to the judges. I also learned a lot while creating the apparatus to collect my data. Even though there were a lot of difficulties while making it, I found a way to overcome these challenges. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lila Foster, and I'm in 6th grade at MME. I'm in Miss Khan's 6th-hour science class. I feel very lucky that my project, Where Did All the Bubbles Go?, advanced to both the regional and the state science fair. I was also invited to present my project at 3M's Young Inventor Recognition event in May. My project tested what types of containers were the best for keeping fizzy water fizzy. I concluded that metal cups are the best and plastic cups are the worst. I also learned that most of the fizz is gone, regardless of the container, within 20 minutes. I got to drink quite a bit of fizzy water as I did my work, which was an extra treat. The best part of participating in Science Fair for me was talking with the judges. I learned so much more about the science of bubbles and how I could continue to improve on my methods from professionals who do the work I hope to do one day. I want to thank Ms. Kahn for her enthusiasm and help with our project. I also benefited from the help of my peers and was inspired by their outstanding projects to do even better next year. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Our researchers from Minnetonka Middle School East include Lila Foster, Edward Ginter, Jared Griffiths, and Olivia Joe.
Our researchers from Minnetonka Middle School West are Lily Dow, Cora Fink, and Adelaide Jivanathan.
And our researchers from Minnetonka High School include Carla Fernanda Ariola Lucio, Alexander Augustine, Owen Barhoover, Abigail Bent, Samir Badia, Emily Boudreau, Joes Buffington, Jaden Kai, Tyler Clare, Georgia Constantine, Becker Curry,
Milan Darji, Campbell DeLuca, Braden Diethelm, Evelyn Engebretson, Keegan Feely, Jasmine Goldsmith, Henry Good, Lara Ganucci, Leander Harold, Quinn Hughes, Isaac Jasper,
Neil Kashyap, Noah Kamakim, Lindsay Koch, Lillian Cole, Arjav Krishna, Savannah Larson, Julian Lunzer, Kira Martin, Anna McKinney, Henry Miller, Maya Moberg.
Taisir Nabi, Melissa Nelson, Molly O'Neill, Anna Sophia Pedersen, Sabrina Pietrafetta, Anthony Pooh, Maximus Wren, Ellison Stroh, Isabella Tobin, Amanda Webster, and William Zhang.
Congratulations again to each of you. We will now recognize a group of our middle school student artists.
Each year, our art teachers select pieces to display at the Minnetonka Schools District Service Center. This is one way we celebrate the work of our students and our commitment to a fine arts education.
These pieces will be on display now through the end of May.
Student artists, thank you for sharing your work with us. Your artistic talent and creativity brightens the District Service Center.
We would also like to thank and recognize our middle school art teachers for their work to encourage and inspire our community. They are Renee Rolls and Bill Finnerty from Minnetonka Middle School East, and Emily Swagel and Jessica Carlson from Minnetonka Middle School West.
Our teachers will now read the names of each student artist as their work is displayed.
Minnetonka Middle School art teachers are so excited to recognize our 2024 District Service Centered Honored Artists.
As part of the DSC Honored Artist Showcase, our students' work has been chosen by their art teachers to represent the amazing pieces created by the middle schools this year.
Artwork is now being displayed at the District Service Center. From painting and drawing to sculpture, photography, and digital art, our students have truly used a wide variety of techniques and mediums to add beauty to our district.
Being part of this group is an honor, and we applaud all of our honored students for their effort. We will celebrate now by showing images of your artwork as we read your names.
From MME, we recognize Daisy Arnett, Madeline Buttry,
Saren Coffey, Melanie Curry, Lydia DeGroot, Megan Eichler, Violet Haggerty,
William Hone, Emma Hounshell,
Danielle Johnson, Emma Kim,
Ella Long, Adrian Lopez Fernandez, Liliana Lyons, Santiago Martinez Gonzalez,
Raymond Muir,
Joseph Paris Daves, Phoenix Pesic,
Madeline Poppin,
Oscar Solita,
Ari Silver, Connor Smith, Ainsley Summers,
Elliot Stifel, Francis Stilley, Adrian Vargas Blanco,
Reese Whittier,
Sammy Yanatelli,
and Ashley Zen.
From MMW, we recognize Annabelle Allanen, William Anderson, Siddharth Arunkumar, Nora Ashikenas, Catherine Buffington,
Cecilia Cho,
Arjun Chornenky, Lila Kreitz,
Aiden Ditzbrenner,
Freya Espeland,
Julia Firth, Evangeline Fung, Hadassah Gunderson, Abigail Hacker, Hannah Hatsung,
Judson Janke,
Harper Lofton,
Tate Leaf,
Laura Lori Luther, Amaya Lyons, Hendrix Markert, Lee Mullen,
Andrew Perry,
Jillian Heschel, Lacey Schmidt, Reed Ullman, Beckett Vanderplas,
Alexandra Wall,
Victoria Wall,
Taylor Winter, and Jesse Zhao. Congratulations again, artists. We are so proud of you.
Thank you again to each of you for sharing your talent, hard work, and inspiration with us.
Our final recognition for this evening is an honor from the Association of School Business Officials. For the 28th year in a row, Minnetonka Public Schools has earned the organization's Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting.
This award represents a significant achievement and reflects our commitment to transparency and high-quality financial reporting. As part of the process, applicant schools submit documents for review by a team of financial professionals who provide feedback for future improvement.
I would like to congratulate Minnetonka's entire finance and operations team, and particularly Executive Director of Finance and Operations Paul Bourgeois and Coordinator of Accounting and Audit Jess Hewlett for their dedication and outstanding work, which is reflected in this honor. That concludes our recognition program for this evening. Thank you for celebrating with us.
The May School Board meeting will begin shortly.
All right, now I'd like to go ahead and call to order the May 9th, 2024 school board meeting.
You should close the public hearing.
Oh, okay.
And it's golf season, everybody gets a mulligan, so it's all good.
Okay, so no comments, so we'll close the public
yes.
hearing on the proposed fees.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Call
you.
the meeting to order. Thank you.
Okay. Now I'd like to go ahead and call to order the May 9th, 2024 Minnetonka School Board meeting. Let's all rise and pledge to the flag.
Here's the first for everything. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Dan, can I have a second?
Second.
Mike, any changes? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. First item tonight are school reports from Minnetonka High School and from SAIL, Superintendent Law.
Madam Chair, members of the board, as you're aware, on a monthly basis, we invite the different schools around the district to come to the board meeting that's televised and share an update on the school. Tonight, we have two school updates, Minnetonka High School and SAIL. Our first presenter is Principal for Minnetonka High School, Jeff Erickson.
All right, good evening, Madam Chair, Superintendent Law, members of the board. Tonight, we're going to talk about three different topics related to our district goals in well-being and excellence in student learning and support, and also in organizational leadership, and highlight each of those. Behind me, I have numerous members of the administrative team. I have several students I'll be talking with you in a moment to share a little bit about this particular work. We've been working a little bit about what do we expect of our graduates, and the two themes we're going to talk about tonight is our goal around respect and empathy, and then also around experiential learning. So it was about a year ago that we talked about the addition to the momentum, or building out the momentum building as part of the Vantage momentum building and moving into aviation. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about this first year has been like in aviation and what has taken place. Just as a point that I always come back to about our high school, that we're a comprehensive high school. When a lot of the work happened with momentum, it was a board member that talked about the fact that our goal is for every student to find their place within our school, and really that we're a school of opportunities. And that's what drives our work, and figuring out what's next to make even a better student experience. So it really has been a spectacular year with what's happened. And with aviation, you can see the enrollment numbers for this current year. We had 131 students and 25 students second semester going up on their discovery flight and starting their own logbook. And again, that came from a partnership from an alumni from Minnetonka High School. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the classes that we have for 24-25. Students attended an expo, Air Expo Day in Mankato. We've had some partnerships and tours with Delta Airlines, connection with Sun Country professionals, and then also an aviation panel. And that's just in addition to the daily work that's happening in the classroom. And I just point out, like, you can come to the loft at 7:20 and see students really locked into the computers, practicing and experimenting in aviation and the real passion. If you look on the blue, again, those are the numbers for this year and 272 students. As you look at the numbers for next year, you can still see that we have the intro course, the intro to aviation drone course. The new course, Flight Instruction Through Time, is our first 2-hour course that connects the aviation flight school course in addition to world history. So we have a section of that 2-hour course that'll be at the new building. And then also we have a standalone Flight Training 1 course at 35 students. And those are students who are seniors who have already taken world history. So we'll be using that space next year, right next to Clear Springs and Advantage Momentum Building. So the enrollment has continued to increase in interest in aviation. So I just want to point out a couple things. First, one of the key people that has made this happen has been our instructor, Scott Schaefer, and he is here tonight, award-winning instructor Scott Schaefer. Also working with him is Brent Vaninga, who does significant work with Momentum. The assistant principal, Alex Hinseth, is here as well. But the people I'd like to hear from are two of our students who have been involved with aviation and then also are taking this course next year. So I'm going to bring up first Annabelle, share a little bit of her experience and her hopes with aviation as well. So Annabelle, have you come forward?
Hi, so I'm Annabelle. I'm a sophomore at MHS currently. And basically, I took this aviation course as like a fun thing because it was new and I'm constantly told just to like get involved with everything at Minnetonka. And so basically in like one of the first days of that class, I heard that we were going to be flying planes. So I was like very interested and like very excited. My mom didn't believe me, but I did. And so I was like kind of scared when I was flying the plane, but it was really, really fun. And I just kind of got more interested in like what's happening behind in all aspects of aviation. So hearing like people come in to speak about aviation, I can just kind of like learn about like what goes on and everyone's like different experience, because like everyone has a different experience. And I also have a mentor down at Mankato State, which is also really cool. I'm really excited about the class next year because I'm going to be able to get my pilot's license, which I think will be useful for me after high school because I've had some interesting aspirations. I would like to start my own airline. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I have a lot of time to figure it out. And I think that it's just been such a fun class. I even went to school for 1 hour the day after I got my wisdom teeth out because there was a guest speaker supposed to come in. He didn't end up coming, but it was okay. But I was just like really excited. I was really excited to learn because this was something that I was like really passionate about, and I discovered something new about myself that I don't think I would have discovered otherwise if I didn't take this class. Thank you.
Thank you, Annabelle. And bring up Aunt Maddie.
Hello, I'm Maddie, and I'm a junior. I'm going to be a senior next year, taking Flight Training 1. I was always a little bit interested in aviation. I'm the type of person to go to the airport 4 hours early just to walk around. And when I saw that the class also included a discovery flight, I mean, that was a very interesting hook. So I took it. But as I started learning more about actually being a pilot, that's when I realized that this was a passion of mine. And I loved flying, and I love learning about how to navigate the skies with Mr. Schaefer as our teacher. Having the amazing opportunities to talk to multiple professionals in the industry about how they got to where they were as pilots. And going along with teaching in the simulators made me really realize that my goal of becoming a pilot is a lot closer and much more tangible than I thought when I began this class. From taking our pilot hours to become a private pilot, from a whopping 75 hours down to 45 hours in the sky, that cuts your costs almost in half. So it makes it a lot more tangible and brings my hopes to become a pilot in the future to life. One of my favorite trips was going to the Delta headquarters because you really get to see how many people it takes to bring passengers from one destination to another. It's not just pilots, it's not just flight attendants. There's so much more that goes into it, and I loved every second of it. We got to go down to the cargo where you put your luggage, and even that, I mean, they have rollers where you roll your bag, like they roll the bags. They don't just shove them in, they roll them. I know, it's really interesting, I promise. And all of this year makes me look forward to next year even more because we're getting new full motion simulators where pilots actually can use that towards hours for their instrumental pilot's license. And I am so excited to see what's going to come for next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Frankly, I should just stop my presentation and end on the high note. But I just want to thank our students for sharing their experiences. I want to thank Mr. Schaefer for his work and thank the board for the investment in this opportunity for our students. And we're excited. Paul Bourgeois has been sending us updates. We had a tour with Mr. Schaefer last week and Mr. Beninga, Mr. Inseth to take a look at the space. Everything's on track, and we're excited for our students to start that in the fall. So thank you. Our next piece we're going to update is a little on our work around belonging and connections. And some of the work that we've done throughout the years has been around empathy, with a recent emphasis and some discussions in class about how we develop empathy within our students, and bring forward Emma K. Brumman, one of our assistant principals, and share a little bit about the work we've done, a brief snippet of a video that we've done with students, and then I'll close with our last goal area.
Good evening. All of our work around the student experience at MHS is grounded in the 4 pillars: be present, be prepared, be connected, and be respectful. We are intentional in how we provide learning around all of these pillars, from All Aboard to Beyond 140s and more. So we've invited speakers from Keith Hawkins to Chris Singleton, who you see here. And they've encouraged our students to think about how they can stand up for respect when faced with everyday choices. They share with our students that respect is about acknowledging someone for who they are and always about knowing someone else's story. So, born from conversations within our student belonging group and various staff leadership groups discussing this learning around respect, was the notion of further exploring this idea of someone else's story. We started with a video that had a message that was meant to be a reminder that it takes each of us to reinforce the value of respect. It was meant to encourage students to listen, to notice, and to wonder, rather than rush to judgment when in community with others. That was the ending of the video. Our student belonging group has been gathering around these lessons about respect all year. They've been framing their conversations and work around the central message of you belong here, and creating opportunities for students to connect with and inspire others throughout the community. Part of this work included the exploration into the Search Institute's developmental relationship survey data relating to express care. Here are some of our student belonging group members answering the question, how can we build a more welcoming or caring community here at MHS?
You can make people feel like they belong just by listening to them and attempting to understand them and putting in the time to know who they truly are.
Showing empathy and not just pretending that you're listening, but actually listening to what people say and making an effort to remember it, remembering their name, remembering their interests, remembering where they're from, who their family is.
Just be nice to everybody. I'm always nice no matter what it is, because you don't have a reason to be mean. It's like kindness is free.
In our world, we've been taught that difference is not exactly that great of a thing, and that's a really faulty belief to have because, you know, my best friends are people who are different. It's people who are different who can change the world.
After these 2 videos were shown, our students engaged in reflection in various ways. Some teachers used paradox in their classrooms to reinforce to students the idea that we all have our own story. How can we safely share ours and still create space for others to share theirs? Other teachers had students respond in writing on Schoology. One student shared, my initial thoughts were to just remember that others may be silently struggling, and that everyone has their own battles that they face, and to make sure to be careful how they are treated and that their battles may shape how they act. We will build on this work next year as we emphasize respectful dialogue in and out of the classroom. And we will continue to develop empathy and respect for others through authentic relationships amongst peers and staff.
Thank you. One of the pieces that we're going to pick up on this spring that will be happening, we've done the developmental relationship survey in December. And so in our March Professional Learning Day, we spent quite a bit of time in the framework and the data. Teachers will now take a segment of that survey in the areas of express care and challenge growth and be asking their own students those specific questions so they get their own feedback versus just the global data, so they can internalize and reflect on what students are saying about their experience within their room, and that will help, help their professional learning for next year. And the last topic is simply under operational excellence. So I want to share a couple of things that we've been working on. If you're a high school parent, you've seen many emails about our goal of students engaged, students in class engaged in learning. This is not a revolutionary concept. However, since COVID and the change in philosophy around attendance, if you look at any professional learning, magazine in the educational world, you'll see the theme of attendance in schools. And so we have been working tirelessly in this goal of students in class and our teachers. What does that engaging learning look like? And so I wanted to just give you a brief update what we've done compared to last year, some of our data. This is really a good example of the long way is the shortcut to this work. There is just so many ongoing conversations with the people behind me, my administrative team, counselors, the individual student meetings, helping figure out, like, why aren't you in class and how can we support you? Proactive communication, following up, emphasis of roles of teachers, administration. So it's been a concerted school-wide effort to see how do we ensure that you're engaged in class, but are you there? So I will just show the data as of now, comparing this year to last year, the changes in our attendance numbers and the impact of students being in class. And this really has been an effort of every person. Our work will continue. We've learned a lot this year. There is no perfect goal to accomplish this. This is individual conversations, sorting out what's going on. So that has been a significant goal with some positive results. We also changed the high school schedule slightly this year. We moved and said farewell to MAST. As the breezes wrote, MAST is lost at sea, and we moved to this new model of anchor time. And initially there was maybe not the thrill of losing MAST. However, having this time embedded in the day has changed how we work with students and has given us that time. And so there's more opportunities for direct student help 3 times a week versus once in the morning. And most students enjoyed the morning time for personal reflection before they got to school versus dialing into their academics. So this has been the schedule. Just a shout out to our students. If you're a parent or student, it is at times a little complex. What week are we in? What period are we in? Leave it to our computer science team, students who created an app that tells them every moment, like, you have 13 minutes left in this period. So our students have done great work. Just a couple of pieces. You can see the students that attend sessions, again, they're within the school day, and they use our new hub tool to request to go somewhere. Just staff is academic focus 3 times a week, connection with their teachers, flexibility. And staff have said, I can simply access my students because they are in the school at that time versus hoping they come in early on a Wednesday when they could be reflecting elsewhere. On the right, we've used a writing center this year a lot. Small groups, sessions with counselors have been a key part of that work. One anchor time session, there were 105 meetings with counselors in the Commons. They were just there. You could request a hub pass. You got your questions answered right away. Next year, we're going to expand in tutoring and also looking at how we're doing Tier 2 interventions. So we always come back to the 4 A's that ground our work. There's been a lot of effort this year in terms of student support in our attendance area. And as we work with our counseling team and staff, get a little bit of sense of our culture through our speakers and some work around empathy. It all leads to June 6th with our class of 2024 moving on. We're celebrating our seniors on May 20th. Graduation is June 6th. It's been a spectacular class, and we're excited to celebrate them and see you all at graduation. So thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for Mr. Erickson? Yeah. Patrick?
Mr. Erickson, thank you for the report. I'm curious, with the switch to anchor time, I know there was some concern about managing the schedule, and I'm just curious, on the one hand, has the feedback from the teachers been that they have improved the ability to use that time over the prior model with masks? And then have there been significant issues with the scheduling? I think as one of those parents, I have to keep it on my wall so I know what day it is and what time it is, but I think I haven't heard reports from my students. So
I would say that with the teachers, you can access your students so they're there.
Mhm.
And so I think, masked, it wasn't working. Students weren't coming in. The students that needed to get in weren't coming in, and there was a stigma associated with it. If you were in a carpool and you were the only person that had to get to masked, you were not wanting to slow your carpool down. So I think the access point with teachers, we're going to make some adjustments next year to where it's placed and have some consistency within that. Frankly, that app, when that was rolled out with students where you can simply look at your phone or iPad, resolve that, because it is more complex how it rotates. But teachers can access their students, and we'll gather more feedback from students. We've done it through my Principals Advisory Council. I would say at the beginning, there was a lot of question, why did we lose masks? However, it's kind of like dental floss. You have to do it, and it does help. Masks was more of candy. So this was a better approach to helping students really get what they need and have staff to have access to it.
thank you.
Any other questions or comments for the high school? Well, really great work. It's really exciting to see the aviation program growing, and love hearing from students with that enthusiasm was just fantastic. So thank you.
That's awesome. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to have a report from the SAIL program. Superintendent Law?
I'll just invite up Director Erin Valenta to talk with her, looks like her staff, about our SAIL program.
Hello, members of the board and Superintendent Law. Thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. We are going to talk about the news of the SAIL program this year. I'm Erin Valenta. I'm a Director of Special Education here, and I'm the SAIL Administrator. I have one of our students. This is Chloe Johnson. She's our SAIL student representative tonight. And Kara Espinosa is joining us. She is a Minnetonka school social worker, and she serves the students of SAIL. I'm just going to share some stats with you. We've had a very busy year this year, and a few highlights for you tonight. The SAIL program this year has 33 students, and we will graduate 8 students. Our graduation is on June 4th. We're in our 3rd year, and our students have a student business. It's a SAIL dog treat business, which I think some of you are very familiar with. It's our primary product. We have also added fire starters and student apparel this year to our lineup. Our student business has made $2,073.19, and we have sold over 400 bags of dog treats this year. All of the money is spent on student incentives, and the students choose those incentives, and they range anywhere from pizza parties to even a kayak experience that they have done. They did that last spring. We are a community-based learning program, and our students benefit from a lot of the business partnerships in the district. We have partnered with Able Light Thrift Store, Anytime Fitness, Bean Haven Cafe, Fusion Pet Retreat, which Chloe's going to tell you a little bit more about here in a minute, Goodwill, Groveland Elementary School, Junior Explorers Childcare, NCEC, Snuffy's, Smart Press, True Memory Care, the District Service Center, Culver's, and we've just added this semester, we added Maynard's. Students this year have engaged in 5,150 plus community work experience hours. SAIL students have also had frequent opportunities to learn about the district and the community offerings that we have, and collectively they have been on 92 community outings this year, so that community learning is really strong. And destinations have included parks, recreation and leisure opportunities, and even some shopping venues. So Chloe's going to tell you a little bit about one of our new business partnerships, Fusion Pet Retreat.
Thank you. I participated in the SAIL Work Experience program and started at Fusion Pet Retreat, which is a premier pet boarding facility that provides pet daycare, training, and grooming. This is basically a free ad. Fusion's mission is to be the perfect retreat for your best friend. I started my internship there in September and worked there on site 3 days a week for 2.5 hours. My duties included all areas of cleaning and care for the cats and dogs, let them out, keep our work space neat and organized. Through this experience, I was able to really try out the position and determined if it was a good fit for me and if I enjoyed the work. I discovered that I liked the position so much I applied to work there, and I am now one of their employees. I work in the evenings and weekends. Come see me sometime.
It's going to be hard to follow. You're so funny, Chloe. Hi, I'm Kara Espinoza. I'm the new school social worker at SAIL. One of my roles at SAIL is meeting directly with students to work on social emotional skills that they can use in the present moment, but also hopefully that they can use once they are graduated from SAIL and transitioning into adulthood. So as you can see on this slide, some of the skills that we work on are social skills, emotion regulation, anxiety, and self-esteem. I also collaborate with staff that are on the student support teams to discuss how we can best support the students and their families. Another one of my roles is providing information on and helping the students and families access transition resources that will hopefully make them successful while they're still at SAIL, but also once they have graduated and transitioned out of our program. So some of the transition resources are county benefits, housing, employment, and mental health. Thank you.
Thank you. Fusion is not buying any of our pet treats yet, but now that Chloe said that, I did just make a connection that will be something that we will be working on this spring before our graduation. So thank you.
Thank you. Any comments or questions for the SAIL team? Well, my dog is one of the ones who enjoys your dog treats, and last time they were sold out, so I look forward to the next distribution.
We just made a new batch, so please come and visit. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
We've now reached the portion of our evening where the public can address the school board on an item included in this agenda via community comments. Do we have any? Okay, moving on then. Next item on the agenda is approval of fees for fiscal year 2025. Can I have a motion to approve the fees for fiscal year 2025 as outlined in the board packet?
So moved.
Dan, is there a second?
Second.
Kemery. Any discussion? We did have the public hearing earlier, but is there any discussion or questions or comments from the board? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next, we're going to have a preview of the Celebration of Excellence. Superintendent Law?
Madam Chair, members of the board, one of the highlights of the year in a month of celebrations is the Celebration of Excellence, a time to acknowledge years of service for employees and a variety of recognitions. Executive Director of Communication, Dr. Jackie Getty, is here to give us a preview of that and the public of this event that's happening in 1 week. Dr. Getty.
Superintendent Law, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is always one of the most exciting events to put together. Our team works really hard together, and Andy Smith, who is our videographer, puts together a number of videos that highlight the amazing work that our teachers, staff, and community volunteers have done. He was telling me just a few minutes ago there are only 2 more videos to go, and he'll have them all ready, so we're really excited. We will be welcoming dozens of staff and teachers and community volunteers to get up on stage at the Arts Center a week from tonight and receive their awards. Superintendent Law is hosting, along with Dr. Amy Ledoux, our Associate Superintendent, and our Board Chair Megan Sellinger will be there as well, presenting awards. And the board is invited, and I hope many of you will come. We pack the Art Center, so usually it's a full house. There's a nice reception, and then we call our award winners one by one up on stage. And we're celebrating service awards for those celebrating their 20, 25, 30, and 35 years with the school district. And then we also have several specialty awards. We have a Collaboration Award for a collaborative team. We're actually giving 2 awards for that this year. There were so many nominations. There were over 30 nominated groups. We have the Joyce Gustafson Memorial Award. We have the Judy Erdahl Memorial Award, which recognizes an MCEC staff member. And we have the Brad Board Award for Excellence in Elementary Education, which is also another amazing award to give out. And then our teachers, we have a teacher from every building that's honored. We have several staff members who are honored from their areas. And then we also select the committee selects an elementary school teacher from those on the stage and 1 secondary teacher to be the district's representatives for the 2025 Minnesota Teacher of the Year program. So very excited. The public is welcome to come. It's open to everyone, and it's just going to be an amazing night. So Andy Smith put together a preview video, and we'd love to watch it. It is.
She gets to know each and every child, their abilities, how they learn.
You know, she does a lot to let the kids pick what they want to work on and what they want to focus on with each lesson. They have choices.
I know she makes things fun because he comes home and he talks about school, and he never used to talk about school.
Letting a kid know that they are valued and appreciated and respected and loved every single day.
Stayed through school whenever you need it. If you need help during class or in homework, help you understand things way more.
Someone understanding of like how I work, just how I process.
After talking with her, you walk away feeling like she's a friend and that she gets it and she understands our kids and loves them for who they are.
To anyone who doesn't know who he is, you gotta meet the guy. He's really fun. He's a special teacher here.
He really wants you to reach out so that he can help you, and if you do have questions, he's always open to helping you.
She was there for me when I most needed it, and she helped me get through hard times.
She says she loves me a lot.
She is really silly, and I love her being my teacher.
So that is just a little taste of what you'll see that night. And with that, I'd welcome any questions.
Any questions or comments for Dr. Getty? To reiterate, is next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yep, the 16th. It's 6 o'clock. The reception starts. The program is 7 to 8:30 in the Art Center at the high school, and all are welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Getty.
Thanks.
Okay, next on our agenda is an adoption of the 2025-26 calendar. Can I have a motion to approve the calendar as out? Oh, I was going to do okay, yeah. Superintendent Law.
Madam Chair, members of the board, on an annual basis, the Minnetonka School District creates a calendar for the school year that starts in a year and a half. And that process begins in February and runs till now. And there's a preview. This gives parents a full year in advance to plan for breaks during the calendar and different changes in the calendar. Tonight, the Executive Director of HR and District Legal Counsel, Angie Flowers, is going to summarize that process and the calendar. Ms. Flowers.
Thank you, Superintendent Law. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. The calendar committee consists of district staff, including our HR coordinator, administrators, parents at all levels, elementary, middle school, and high school. Students, we have 3 student reps, paraprofessionals, and teachers. On February 27th and April 29th, the calendar committee met to discuss its recommendations for the 2025-2026 calendar. We are a year ahead, as Superintendent Law said, as we already have a calendar set for 2024-2025. Being a year ahead allows the district, family, and community to plan in advance. There was great conversation and engagement from the committee this year. As a committee, we took into consideration the required parameters for calendar planning. Some of those parameters include our contractual agreements to have 184 teacher duty days, 173 student contact days, conference days, and the legal requirement that we cannot begin school before Labor Day. You will see late starts and early releases on the calendar. We kept those there because we still have an MOU with the MTA Teachers Union, but we aren't anticipating at this point that that will return, but they are placeholders. Something new for the 2025-2026 calendar we are recommending is 2 additional days of observances. Those are Yom Kippur and Eid. There was a robust discussion about adding those days, and it was supported by the committee as a whole. Everyone on the committee was aware that this would lead to a later end date of the school year, and they were all in support. It's the full committee's recommendation. With that, I'd like to share an overview of the proposed calendar for 2025-2026. In August, we will continue to do our workshop weeks and planning days beginning on August 26th, with the first day of school scheduled the day after Labor Day on September 2nd for K through 12 plus. Kindergarten will begin on September 4th. Yom Kippur will be observed on October 2nd. Conferences will coincide with MEA in October on the 9th and 10th for the fall conferences. Thanksgiving break is again proposed as 3 days, consistent with our 2024-25 calendar change from November 26th through November 28th. It is still very popular with everyone to have that Wednesday before Thanksgiving off. Winter break, similar to 2024-2025, has landed again with 2 full weeks. People are very excited about that. Christmas and Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve fall in the middle of the week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, the committee was in support of the full 2 weeks at winter break. If it weren't 2 full weeks, then we'd be looking at returning January 2nd and 3rd, which would only allow for a 2-day week and likely result in significant absences of both students and staff. So we wanted to avoid that. That break would range from December 22nd through January 2nd. Teachers would return for their planning day before welcoming students back from winter break. People were also pleased on the calendar committee with the dates of spring break. Spring conferences would take place the first week of March. And spring break, we were able to actually start in March, at the end, but still in March. Families really wanted to see if we can have an earlier spring break because some of the other districts, some of the planning family commitments, it's helpful. And a lot of that does depend on the Minnesota High School League's athletic calendar. So it did work out better for 2025 through 2026 from March 30th through April 3rd. The last day of school for students would be on June 11th and the last day for teachers on Friday, June 12th. I'm asking for approval of the 2025 calendar as presented. Any questions?
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the calendar for 2025-26 as outlined in the board packet?
So moved.
Patrick, is there a second?
Second.
Mike, are there any questions or discussion with the board or for Ms. Flowers? Patrick?
I would just point out that there was a discussion of this at the most recent study session, and I think we were pleased to hear the committee's work and thank the committee for everything it's done to try and address what I know can be a very thorny discussion and how to work all the competing interests out and still get in the required number of duty days and so on. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And my question was already answered because I was going to ask about the late start and early release because I think that is prominent in the community and the teachers and the students, just kind of that desire to have information about it ahead of time. So I appreciate you addressing that. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Flowers.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is a presentation on the possible extension of the operating referendum. Superintendent Law?
Madam Chair, members of the board, in the 2023 legislative session, the legislature allowed school districts to renew existing operating referendum as long as it wasn't an increase an additional 10 years with board authority without having an election. A lot of the rationale for that was the cost of the election, the incredibly high pass rate of those straight renewal votes, and the amount of time districts were spending running a campaign that was eventually going to be successful. Since that has passed, 24 districts or more have used this authority in 2023, and there's probably 40 districts that are considering it for this year, so many districts who are doing straight renewals are doing it. Tonight, Executive Director in Finance and Operation, Mr. Bourgeois, is going to summarize what that process is. Note that there's no approval tonight. This is a discussion publicly, so the board may be hearing this again on May 30th and has the decision to make at that time at their discretion. Mr. Bourgeois.
Okay, thank you, Superintendent Law, members of the board. Subdivision 126C.17 governs operating referendums, and the legislature added Section 9B. So a year ago, a study of operating referendum renewals indicated that over the last decade, almost 100% of the time, renewals for the same amount or the same amount plus inflation it would pass. So, running an election costs a lot of school districts significant dollars. You have to put out required information for literature. You have to run the election, a lot of time of staff that would otherwise be spent on other duties. In there, I have an estimate of $70,000 to run a full election, plus any informational mailings. And that was based on what we spent last year with the capital projects referendum renewal. Because there's actually a big chunk of utilization of legal counsel that specialize in referendum packets and those types of things to make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed on questions and procedures and all that kind of stuff. So doing that again would probably run in that similar dollar amount range. So the legislature determined it was really a prudent thing to allow a referendum for the same amount or the same amount plus inflation if it was already being levied to be extended for 10 years. So our current operating referendum plus inflation authority was approved back in November 3rd of 2015 for 10 years and expires with the 24 pay 25 levy. So when we set the levy this December, basically that will be the last authority on that dollar amount. And that funds fiscal year 2026. We collected in calendar 25. Our current estimate, just as a FYI on that, is the levy that we'll be levying is 2.17% inflation, which will generate an estimated $2,250.69 per pupil, and that will generate over $28 million in revenue for the general operating fund. And that estimate is going to be updated by the Department of Education in July. So that dollar amount may change, but that's where we're looking at right now. But the other thing is this levy is going to happen no matter what action on any future levy that the school board would take, because it's been approved, and so 24 pay 25 is set in terms of inflation and times the number of pupils. So you have two options for the operating referendum to continue uninterrupted on the 25 pay 26 levy for fiscal 27. You could run an operating referendum renewal election on November 5th, 2024, or you can exercise the one-time extension authority granted to us by the 2023 legislature. So to run an operating referendum renewal on November 5th, the school board will have to call the election no later than August 23rd, 2024, which is 74 days prior to the election. And the operating referendum election will technically be a revocation of the one remaining year that we're levying in December of the 10 years of authority granted on November 3rd, 2024, or November 3rd, 2015, because basically you can only run an election for 10 years. You can't extend on to an existing one. You have to revoke the last year and then add another 9 to it. So The question will be a request of authority for 10 years plus inflation, starting with the 24 pay 25 levy, which again, technically we have that with the old authority, but the way the mechanics work is you revoke the current authority and then add on going into the future. And then it would continue on for 9 additional years. 10 years of authority for an operating referendum is the maximum number of years that you can request. If approved, the district would have a net gain of 9 additional years. The first year of the new 10 merely replaces the last year of the old 10 that was approved on November 3rd, 2015. So, and also the district is at the state imposed operating referendum cap, as we've discussed during numerous budget and case meetings and discussions. So, although we're working to change that, but we haven't yet. So we are still at the state imposed operating referendum cap amount. So an operating election, referendum election question can ask for an increase because we're at the cap. So we could only renew it at the existing amount. So running the whole referendum would not get us any more dollars than if we extended. In terms of dollars per pupil, I should say. So an operating referendum extension option, you would have to take action, but it's done by board vote. You must take action prior to June 15th, 2024 for it to be approved for the coming levies. The extension is for 10 years to commence after the existing authority expires. So that this extension is technically then for the 25 pay 26 levy for fiscal 27 through the 34 pay 35 for fiscal 36. So basically you get 10 full years by doing the extension. It can only be for continuing at the same rate plus inflation. We'll get that final rate again when we get the initial levy runs after the state updates the inflation factor. And again, it does not revoke and replace, but extends after the final authority. So we still, in essence, we use all of our current authority, and then by voting on the extension, it allows us to continue. So you have to hold a public hearing on the proposed extension by school board vote. The public has the opportunity to talk about it and give input. The public hearing can be held on the same day of the proposed school board action on the proposed extension. So just like we did with the fees, is we had a public hearing before the meeting, and then you were able to approve the fees. The same methodology could be used. You could have a public hearing and then approve this extension at that time, or in the subsequent meeting after the public hearing. Once it's approved, we must notify the Department of Education and the Hennepin and Carver County auditors by September 1st, 2024. Administration is recommending this option because it gives us some flexibility also going forward. So we lock in the safety of continuing our levy, but if the legislature increases the operating referendum cap in coming sessions, we could still run an operating referendum increase per pupil at that time. So the thing about it is communications for that will be clear if we have not just recently run an operating referendum simply to continue at the current rate. And so if, for instance, a year from now, the legislature says, hey, the cap is increased and you can ask for another $300 or $500 per pupil, we can still run that referendum, and it won't be a situation where people will go, well, geez, you just ran a referendum last year, why are you running another? So make communications a little bit simpler. So the extension timeline would be a public hearing potentially prior to the May 30th, 2024 school board meeting, and then board action at the May 30th, 2024 school board meeting. Again, we have to take board action before June 15th of 2024 if we want to exercise this extension option. And then in the board packet, there's a potential resolution. It's been prepared with the assistance of Catherine Safner, Esquire, of Knutson, Flynn, and Deans, who is they are referendum gurus, or that's an area of expertise that they focus on. And then Michael Hoheisel and Matthew Rantipa of R.W. Baird assisted us in putting that referendum, proposed operating referendum extension resolution together. So that's the whole thing in a nutshell.
Thank you, Mr. Bourgeois. Any comments or discussion? Any questions for Mr. Bourgeois? Dan?
No real questions here. I think I've got it all. But as I understand it, if we take this action as a board and pass it ourselves without doing a referendum, we gain a year of authority and avoid tens of thousands of dollars of cost to the community to keep in place something that the community has already supported and is paying for. So it seems like a great plan to me. I'm in favor of it. I would welcome community opinion on the 30th if we choose to put it before the community then. But this seems like a very common sense approach to me.
Any other questions or discussion? Patrick?
I was going to make a similar point to make sure we're clear that the effect of the extension being added on to the existing authority gives us another year. So I think that's a pretty important point to keep in mind. And then I think understanding that our community has a long history of support for public education and these sorts of referendums, I think we can feel fairly comfortable that our community will be behind an inflationary increase of what we've been doing. So.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Thank you, Mr. Bourgeois.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mike, is there a second?
Second.
Kemery? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any board reports? Okay. Superintendent's report.
I have one announcement to make, just as a reminder. The district, we heard from one tonight, the district has a variety of committees to allow community members to serve and advise the district. Those committees include the calendar committee that typically runs in the January to April timeframe, a community education advisory committee that advises the programming for community education, a mental health advisory committee that meets throughout the school year to review our current data and suggest strategy for supporting our students' mental health, a finance advisory committee that meets monthly with Mr. Bourgeois to discuss our finance and strategies to ensure long-term financial stability, and a teaching and learning advisory committee. All of these committees have applications online, and those applications are open. We encourage community members to apply to these committees. They are filled generally over the summer, but as there's openings through the year, we do allow people who have applied to fall into those slots. I'm encouraging anyone who's watching this who is interested to serve on the calendar committee, community ed advisory committee, mental health advisory committee, finance advisory committee, teaching and learning advisory committee, to apply for those during this time, with an understanding that we review applications over the summer generally, unless there's openings immediately, and then try to fill those committees. Thank you.
Thank you. Any announcements? All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Patrick, is there a second?
second.
Dan, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.